bonjour filtering configuration. You can now filter according to location, so that is pretty good news for many administrators out there. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the configuration part. I hope it was helpful. Next we will go to troubleshooting section. Sometimes things don't work. Don't panic. You can troubleshoot it pretty easily. There are times when something is not working as expected. Of course, there are basics. Basics are probably most common reason for things not working, and you need to, of course, go over the basic first, because usually the problem lies there. We all know that. But when things are not working, you don't understand why. It can be really likely that when you're deploying something new, for example, it's really likely that the MDNS service string is missing. That's the most typical one, and I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot that in a live environment. So let's say if I have a new service that is not working, it's not displaying on my Airplay list for some reason. Everything else is working, Apple TVs and so on, but this one, this particular service is not working. So I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot that on a wireless LAN controller. First, I'm going to show you how to configure the MDNS AP. Remember the feature that when you could enable your AP in a remote layer 3 distributed location, remote from the controller, you can configure the AP to listen on the wire for bonjour advertisements. So if you have some Apple TVs that is only on wire, or some other Airplay bonjour service, you could actually pick that up. But remember that the AP needs to be on a VLAN trunk mode, because it might need to listen to many VLANs for those advertisements. So let's say I have already configured my AP for VLAN trunk mode. I need the native VLAN to be, of course, on the AP VLAN in its place, if you have an AP VLAN, which is highly recommended. But to enable this, you need to do it with the command line. And in this case that you see, I need to show AP summary. I have a lot of APs here. Config AP MDNS, config MDNS AP enable AP name, and I would do it AP1, like something like this, and then I enable the feature. It's already set on this AP, that's fine. I already did it. And show MDNS AP summary would display which APs are configured for MDNS snooping on the wire. So this AP is ready. You see that it has VLAN identifiers on the right, VLAN 64. So this AP is sitting on another VLAN according to the native VLAN configuration on the switch port, but it's listened to VLAN 64. So if I wanted to listen to more VLANs, because I know of some services that are advertising Airplay services on other VLAN, I would simply go config MDNS AP VLAN at, let's say, 65 on APA31 AP1, like this. Show MDNS AP summary. You would see that there is an extra VLAN added on that AP. So this AP will do. It is capable of listening to up to I think 10 VLANs that you can listen for Airplay services. And if I wanted to take this back, MDNS AP VLAN delete 65, and the name of the AP is A31 AP1, like this. So in summary, I see that VLAN is removed. So this is the basic configuration on how to enable the MDNS AP on a remote AP location, listening for the wired Airplay service offerings. The switch port for the AP again is configured in trunk mode, and of course you have to allow the VLANs that you need to listen to. Also importantly, you need to have the AP on a native VLAN. So the switch port trunk native VLAN command on the switch port will correspond to your AP VLAN, which I would recommend you to use in most cases when you have many APs. Have them on a special AP VLAN just to make it separate from everything else, and you know, broadcasts and everything like that. The AP will be less disturbed by stuff like that. So yeah, this was the AP MDNS part. Now let's go to troubleshooting the MDNS stuff. When something is not working, like I said before, typically it's a missing MDNS string, because the WLC needs to have all the strings it is supposed to support in the database of the WLC. So if there is a string that is something is new, is configured, some third-party stuff that you are bringing online that needs to be enabled, it's very possible that the string is not there. So we need to find out what string we need to add, because we can manually add the string, the MDNS string, to the WLC database when we know what it is. So enable to find out, we need to do some debugging. So in this case, I'm going to do debug MDNS all, because I'm really brave. I can do, you can narrow it down of course, but I'm going to do all just to show you what it's about. Enable, and you see there's a lot of stuff happening on this controller. It hears a lot of bonjour advertisements, and so you get a pretty nice idea what's going on in your network with regards of this type of traffic. Debug, disable all, and now I'm gonna find try to find some strings in my logs to see what the actual MDNS server string is missing. Let's say in this case we are troubleshooting a printer that is not displaying on our Airplay list, for example. So you see that here on the screen, on the debug, we find the printer TCP local is not reported in the MCell database. So this is the database on the controller. It's saying it's not supported. So in that case, I would simply copy the string, and please note the underscore that you have here as well. So I would simply copy the string, take it over to the wireless LAN controller, which I have somewhere here. There. Go to the MDNS. Go to the MDNS and add other. So in that case, I would say Apple printers, and server string is this, origin, query status check, like the others, and I would simply add it here. It already exists in this case, but it doesn't matter. So you see that I have some stuff like Chromecast I added manually before because I was debugging it and found out it was not in the list. So we did a little debugging, found out this string was, the debug was complaining about this string was missing. So we copied it from the debug, added it to the global master database. And then, of course, when you have it globally like this, you need to go to the profiles you are actually expecting it to be on, like Apple TV. And here I would need to go and, for example, Chromecast, I would need to add it here, so it would be a part of this MDNS profile. So this is a really good way to find out when some specific service is not working. You have other stuff working, so you know that in the very basics that the MDNS is working, but one new service is not working, and this is most likely to be the issue, of course, apart from all the regular basic stuff that we tend to miss from time to time. So I hope you enjoyed this series of Airplay Bonjour in Cisco Wireless LAN Controller Network. I see you next time, and please, if you're on my blog site, please leave a comment below if you have any questions or anything. I will be more than happy to answer. And yeah, see you next time.